Don Lemon versus Candace Owens. Oh, beautiful.
But can we start? Is that okay?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really great. I just had a conversation with Russell Brand about the same thing. Like the left-right stuff is just getting really old and toxic. And I think we can all take each other out of context to make the other person look stupid. But I think people are more deserving of an actual conversation.
So I was going to start with the politics of the day, and we can always get to that because that can be kind of boring. But I mean, do you feel like after you left the other platform that you were on, do you feel different? Has your attitude or anything about life or your political beliefs, or has that changed at all?
It hasn't changed. I would probably say that I experienced more of an internal sea change at the beginning of last year, when I was still on my other platform. And I think people saw that toward the end of me being on the other platform. And there was just, and the show was performing really well and really strong. And I think it was because I had kind of broken with this idea that it's always like left versus right. And in a way that just welcomed more people into the show. So I personally changed, probably starting at the beginning of last year, I would say.
There were people who were saying, because you went on to the Breakfast Club, right?
Mm.
And they were saying, oh my gosh, Candace Owens is black again. She's going to come back to the black community and she's going to be black. And that's the way she's going to reemerge, much the same way that people said that I was going to be red pilled when I came back to, whatever, the streaming and what have you. Is that, are you black again? Do you feel that? What do you think about that?
People are going to be so shocked to learn this, and I guess I'll just announce it here. But I've always been black, so it's like a thing. Every day I've just been black my whole life, and it was interesting to see people take that narrative because some people were like, "She was doing this because she decided to be black because she knew she was going to get fired." I'm like, "This is ridiculous." I went on the network because I got invited to go on for the first time ever. That was just my luck, and I think it was in response to me having done Joe Budden's podcast. And Joe Budden said something nice about me on his podcast, and I reached out on my podcast. So that was all very natural. And when I went on the Breakfast Club, I still said what I always think. I think people may have heard it different. And again, I think that is in large part due to the fact that Americans are growing tired of the hostility left versus right. And people are starting to listen to different ideas and seeing that we probably have more in common than the mainstream media would have allowed us to believe in the past.
Okay, you say that, but there are some things that you say I find, and again, I'll give you a chance to explain them, that I think that are divisive and may sort of contradict what you're saying. But before we get there, can we talk news of the day, politics of the day, and then we'll get into that? Is that cool?
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the breaking news. The first Democratic senator publicly questioning President Joe Biden, his election chances, after.
Boring. Democratic news. Haha. Haha. Oxymoron over here. So as you guys can see, it's laid back, it's chill, right? Candace is rebranding. She has this new audience, these new followers who hated her in 2020 whenever she came against BLM, and then they realized, hey, BLM was a scam, and now they're seeing her again. She's back on the screen again. They're like, wait a minute, she's not that bad. She's not that crazy after all. Again, this is all going to point to how society is, not getting fed up of left and right. I would say society is becoming increasingly red-pilled, or maybe not. Maybe just more common sense. Common sense is back, baby. It's back. But, at the beginning, he clarifies, listen, I just want us to talk. I want us to hang out. I want us to chill and just get to know each other. It gets spicy. Watch.
The need then to sort of go down this rabbit hole and to defend something that was horrific, and to say that we had other. Why are you comparing what happened in the Holocaust to other atrocities? Because it's awful. Why can't you just stick with the Holocaust? And
Why can't I
why are you
cover
you
Christian
can't talk
history?
about it,
What
but
is
why are
this?
you
What do you mean stick
defending?
with the
Why are you
Holocaust? What do you mean
defending
by
those
that?
people's actions? I don't understand that. There's
What
no way.
Nobody defended any actions. That episode was about the fact that after the war, and this was a BBC documentary, not a Candace Owens documentary. It's a BBC documentary and I played parts of the documentary. It talked about how the Allies committed atrocities against the German speaking civilians. They were not people who voted for Hitler. They were not Nazis. They were children who were lined up and shot.
Mhm.
Their bodies were thrown on the ground while they were alive, and they were rolled over on cars. The footage is in the BBC documentary. It's called The Savage Peace. When people watch this documentary, they are so astonished and shocked that we didn't learn about it in school that they begin asking real serious questions. And one of those questions that you ask is, why are we not told about the mass killing of Christians all around the world? What you just said, like, why can't we just let it be about the Holocaust? What is
No,
that?
well,
That's like the most selfish thing in the entire world. Let me finish. The most selfish thing in the entire world is for me to spend an hour talking about the atrocities that innocent Christians who had nothing to do with Adolf Hitler faced, and then to have Zionist media talking heads somehow make it about the Holocaust. It's not about the Holocaust, okay? Christians suffered too. In fact, we are the most persecuted religion in the world. And I am
Okay, okay, okay. Let her spit. Let her spit. Let Candace spit. She's going on facts, right? She's speaking facts right now. And you know, Don Lemon over here. Why can't it just be about the Holocaust? Why can't it just be okay? It can actually be about both. I don't know why it needs to be about one thing or the other here. We can talk about all aspects of it. It's crazy, huh? What kind of person has an inferior complex? Inferiority complex. Whenever a part of the story is being covered that is also true, but it's not their part, right? That's weird. It's like, if we were to talk about the kingdom of Israel and just disregard all of King Saul just to get to King David. It's like, no, there needs to be proper context. There needs to be build up. There needs to be everything to get, the gravity of the situation. Talk about everything that had really happened. And Don Lemon over here, it's just like small man syndrome. Well, why can't we just talk about one thing? Why does it have to be about both? What is this nuance? What is this?
so sick of it. I am so sick of there can only be one
oh,
victim
Candace,
narrative.
come
And if
on.
you
I
start
am a
talking about
Christian, and we are not the most
Christians are not,
persecuted in the world. Come on.
that is a
Let
fact.
me
What are
let me
you
just say, you know
saying
what
that
it
we're not the
sounds
most
like? It
persecuted religion in the
sounds
world? Do you
like
know
to
what's
you.
happening in Armenia? Do you know
Let
what's
me let
happening
me
in
let
Nigeria?
me
Do you
tell
know what just
you.
happened in Canada?
Okay, first of all, Don Lemon just called himself a Christian. This dude just got married to another man like 3 months ago.
Let me
Fake
tell you what
story
this.
that was propagated by
Okay.
all of the
All right.
mainstream networks about the nuns, and they found the mass burial, which allowed
Okay.
85 Catholic churches to be burned to the ground in the last 3 years in Canada. We are still being persecuted right now.
Okay.
So I take great offense to you coming in here about the sensitivities of the people that are working on your show when I'm sitting here telling you that I'm a Christian and
Well, I
I'm
think the
offended
sensitivities
by
of
what you're
people who are
saying,
who
and
are
you
working on my
laugh.
show,
You
I think
mock
that's
Christian
very, very
persecution. Do you
important
think people
because
to laugh when someone tells you about Christian persecution? Because let me tell you something. If I
no, I'm
had
not
done that,
laughing.
if
I
I
think
had
it's
laughed
laughable.
about the
I don't think it's
Holocaust,
funny.
I
I
would be
think it's
chased out of
laughable.
polite society. Then don't laugh. Don't laugh at Christian
Well,
persecution.
being
Don't do it.
laughable is mean that the name is in the term. It's laughable.
Do not
But let me just say
laugh.
that
You
it
literally
sounds
just
like,
laughed
Candace,
when I
what you're
talked about
saying
Christian
is
persecution.
what you're
Don't do
saying
that
It is
ever
getting
again. Not in
so
my
heated.
presence.
what you're saying is okay, Candace.
Not in my presence. Not in my presence. Not in my... Holy... Don't, don't ever laugh about that in my presence. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
That the name is in the term. It's laughable.
Do not
But let me just say
laugh.
that
You
it
literally
sounds
just
like, Candace,
laughed when I talked about Christian persecution.
what you're
Don't do
saying
that
is
ever again. Not in my presence.
what you're saying is okay, Candace, thank you. So what you're saying is, oh, you know what? The Holocaust was
Yes.
bad, but look over here. These people were worse than the Holocaust, so we
That's
shouldn't.
not that. First off,
That's what
first
it
and
sounds
foremost,
like. I'm telling you, that's what it sounds like.
you just said you didn't watch the episode.
No, but I'm saying that's what it sounds like. That's what you're saying. I don't have to watch the episode. I was listening to the words that you just said. You just
And
spent 3 or 4 minutes talking about the other atrocities and how bad they were. You're
yes,
not
the
talking
other
about how bad
atrocities
the
that have happened
Holocaust
in
was.
human history outside of the Holocaust are things that we are relevant and allowed to talk about, especially when the numbers of Christians that were persecuted following the Russian Revolution and the manner in which they were killed, people that were beheaded, priests that were shot. Yes, it is. I can talk about Christian history, and I don't need to feel guilty about that, and I
Okay,
won't.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yep. Facts. Don Lemon is getting absolutely destroyed. Just got destroyed, actually. You guys just saw it. I love it. I love Candace. I love what she's doing. I thought that was awesome. And, it's true. Like, everybody walks out of American school system, and they all know about Jewish persecution, what happened in the Holocaust. You learn about the Holocaust every year since, like, 4th grade. At least that's what happened with me. 4th grade, history, Holocaust. 5th grade, history, Holocaust. 6th grade, history, all the way till my senior year. That's what I was learning. Not much about Christian persecution, though. Not much about the martyrs. Not much about Jesus. Not much about his resurrection from the dead, from the cross. Interesting, but we are always learning about, the one side of World War II. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.